Read through the worders. It is great to be with you today. It is January the 12th, and I'm Wendy Pope. There are days that I sit down to record, and my mind is just racing, and I just want to do this big dump of everything that's running through my head. And this is one of those days where I'm like, all right, Lord, help me to clearly communicate in order, in a way that makes sense, without jumping all around from this track to this track, just to stay in the lane that you have designed for us today. And the verse that came to my mind as I sat down to record this lesson is Isaiah 54:17. And it's recorded other places in scripture, but God says, no weapon formed against us will prosper. Have you ever thought of yourself sometimes as a weapon against yourself? Like, I'm not gonna be able to defeat myself, because I'm not gonna beat myself at something, because no weapon, my lack of faith, my bitterness, my anger, my whatever I'm dealing with, help me, Lord, is not going to destroy me, because God says that there is no weapon that is formed against me that will prosper. And I love what John Calvin said here in regards to our scripture today. He said that God fights against us with his left hand, but he upholds us and fights for us with his right hand. And it took today's lesson, which is a scripture that I've read so many times, to put that together with the Isaiah verse. Oh, wow. Jacob here he ran for his life from his brother after the inheritance issue with the soup, and then or porridge stew, whatever it was, and then the trickery that he and Rebecca did with Isaac at his deathbed. He ran from that and had no idea what was going on with Esau. Obviously, God did some work in Esau's life, because he did not come out to meet Jacob and to kill him like Jacob anticipated. There was all this buildup. I can only imagine the buildup he had. But prior to meeting up with Esau, Jacob has this prayer meeting with the Lord, and he reminds the Lord of all the promises that he made about the nations and a great name and all of that. And I do believe that that's important. And for God, not that God's going to forget his promises, but in speaking them out back to him, Jacob, speaking them out to God, actually reminded himself of those promises, which is we need to be doing. We need to remind ourselves and recount ourselves on the things that God has told us that are our inheritance. But just as soon as he prayed, he also devised a plan of dividing his family, and y'all go this way, and we're going to I'm going to appease him by sending things forward to him, and anything that he could think of humanly possible to make things easier on himself. It's like he trusted God, but he didn't trust God. Guilty, right? And Warren Wiersbe talks about this wrestling match between God and Jacob. He says this: Jacob prayed to be delivered from Esau, but what he really needed was to be delivered from himself. Again, our own weapons we will not be successful in defeating ourselves. God will fight against us to bring, with his left hand, to bring us into submission to himself, but he will also uphold us and fight for us with his right hand. I love the picture of that. But here's what I want our main takeaway to be for today. Besides those two great things about God, I love that he's going to fight against us to bring us to submission, but he's also going to fight for us to bring us victory with his right hand. What we see in scripture today is that Jacob walked with a limp the rest of his life. But he never forgot that experience with the Lord. That crisis of faith, Henry Blackaby called it years ago in the Bible study, Experiencing God. That crisis of faith where we are going to be all in or all out. And he was going to be all in no matter what it took. And he never forgot that because he walked with a limp. Now let me just tie this together. You may be walking with some type of limp today. I walk with a limp. But the experience that I've had with the Lord in wrestling with him has made me who I am in my faith. And there is a lasting legacy with my limp because my children see it. My friends see it. They know what God has done in my life. Because of Jacob's limp, generations were changed because he fought with the Lord until he got his blessing. And until God reminded him of that blessing and he was secure in that blessing. So I just want us all to walk with the confidence of our faith limps. Sometimes we have to be broken to be healed, Warren Wiersbe said. We have to be weakened to be strengthened. Those are two from Warren Wiersbe, by the way. Awesome. You need to get this resource if you don't have it already. Check on Amazon or eBay has old books. I don't even know if mine's falling apart. I don't know when it was released. But this is a must. This is a must. He's one of my favorite Bible commentators. But then I added, sometimes we have to be defeated to be victorious. Don't be ashamed of your limp. Don't. Let it be part of your story. It was a lasting part of Jacob's story. Lasting, we're still reading about it. But he walked with that limp, and everyone, I don't want to put this out there as fact, but can you imagine people saying, why are you walking with that limp? Well, let me tell you about it. Be confident with your limp. Tell the story because it's lasting. And through you, a legacy will be created because of your battle, your struggles that you've had with the Lord. They will make a difference. See you next time on Read Through the Word.